You must stay woke or else. Nowadays, they want you to be miseducated. Nowadays, they don't want you to understand that the how bad you're being exploited. They don't want you to understand that they're trying to manipulate you. The media doesn't want you to know that they're lying to you all the time, and they were trying to convince you to believe certain truths that are not always true. They don't want you to be educated. Why? Because when you're educated, you tend to revolt. You tend to wake up. You tend to be like, oh, I don't like what's going on. Let me bring change. And like I said, when you get woke, you help the next person get woke. And when that person is woke, they help the other person get woke. And now you have a militia, an army, a bunch of people, a family of woke people. And they don't want that. Why? Because the more of you, the more of us, the more power we have. The more of us that get together and realize that we're being exploited and we don't want to be exploited anymore, and the more of us that get together and realize, oh, we want to do better, we want better futures, we want better lives, they don't want that. Why? Because we become powerful. We get to determine our future. We get to determine how we want things to play out. And they don't want that. Why? Because they're using you right now to benefit. They're using you to get what they want. So when you try to go and get what you want, when you try to go and flip the script, of course they're not with it. Of course they're against it. And they're going to do everything they can to make sure that does not happen. So what do you do? You take that into account. That's part of the misinformation. That's part of the miseducation. They're gonna tell you, oh, you shouldn't, listen to these people because they're terrorists, or they're a threat to society, or they're extremists, or they're conspiracy theorists. Oh, they're telling you that the government is using you, doesn't care about you. They don't care about what you put in your foods. They don't care about what you consume on media. They don't care about you or your children. When you hear stuff, people say stuff like that, you shouldn't listen to them. Why? Because they're corrupt. They're conspiracy theorists. They're lying to you. They're trying to spread fake news. And it's one of those things where, like I said, that's part of the misinformation. That's part of the miseducation. So what do? You do the research. You check for yourself. You make sure that what you're believing isn't a lie. Not everything that you ever hear you have to believe. You take everything with a grain of salt. Okay, and you break things down and you see how credible it is. The people that are telling you the thing, are they credible? What is it telling you? Is it credible? Okay, what can you do with that information? How credible can it be when you go and tell somebody else? It's one of those things where you can break it down and realize, oh, okay, what I heard, it is true. I looked into it. I realized that, we have been lying to. Oh, the corporations do make billions of dollars each year doing this. Oh, yeah, they do put, Monsanto does, put whatever they want into whatever chemicals they want into the foods and the stuff that we eat. Oh, the slaughterhouses don't care about how the cows are treated, how the pigs are treated, how the chickens are treated. Oh, people don't care about the media and how dishonest they are. It's one of those things where the entertainment companies don't care about the fact that you're gonna sit there and binge watch a whole, episode, season of a show, and at the end of the day, they just take money from you. It's one of those things where, as you start to realize it, as you learn, you realize that it's actually true. You realize that there's research after research. Even the companies are admitting it themselves. They're telling you, oh, this is how much money we made. This is how we made that money. We made you sit there for this many hours. We got this many people to come sign up. This is how many people we exploited. And next year, we're going for this much. Thank you. And what do people do? Oh, Netflix, that's amazing. Next year, we're going to support you again. And it's one of those things where you have to do better. So you have to stay woke. You have to do the research. You have to doubt those people. You can't believe everything that you hear. You have to take it with a grain of salt. Why? Because at the end of the day, like I said, there's a lot of lies in this world, and you have to seek the truth. You can't be comfortable. You can't be complacent. That's how they lock you in. That's how they take advantage of you. That's how they manipulate you. So you have to stay curious. You have to ask questions. You have to ask why. You have to ask how. You can ask when did this happen? Why is it the way it is? How can we do it differently? You have to ask those questions. Why? Because that's what they don't want you to do. So, like I said, at the end of the day, you have to stay woke. And by woke, I mean you have to stay curious. You have to stay questioning. And you have to wonder why things are the way they are and how they can be better. Because they don't want you to think like that. They don't want you to think like that. And like I say, if you are one of the few people that do think like that, support this channel. Give me a like. Subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? Comment whatever it is that you want to comment. If you got to comment, if you want to say something. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like I said, you have to stay woke.